In October of 1970, John Cox, who was then a 19-year-old father, walked into his son Sidney's bedroom and found him unconscious. John applied pressure to his chest, attempting to revive him, but was unsuccessful. The Evanston Police Department then showed up. They made assumptions, and they arrested John for the death of his son. Without access to counsel, without access to medical care, without access to his family, John attempted suicide in that jail cell. The Evanston Police Department then transported John in a coma, and upon his third transfer, John died.
And that tragic death led a group of attorneys to work with the city to create the Evanston Community Defender Office to represent the youth that couldn't afford to hire a private attorney.
Alderman Moran and Alderman Brew Alexander Davis were on the Evanston City Council at the time, and they launched a wide-ranging investigation into the police, the courts, the hospitals, and ultimately found that what our community really needed was a community-based defense organization that would holistically serve the children and the families of our community.
And Brew and Judge Moran, they were the ones that said, this is an injustice. People can't pay for this. We have to find a way to fund the help that people need. We can change it. We just have to all come together.
It was a group of lawyers seeing the injustice of the have and have not in the juvenile justice system.
When I heard that there was this organization that had social services and criminal law where I could actually go into court, I was like, oh, this is great. We were in this tiny office on Davis Street. It was two attorneys, Bob Roy and myself. And we had a social worker and we had a part-time secretary. That was it.
Rob Roy, the first executive director, recognized that when youth are struggling, social services and social workers were just as important as lawyers. 40 years ago now, that was unheard of, to marry social work and legal work together.
What the Moran Center does is to help them succeed after the case is disposed of. And that's truly what my dad believed in, helping in a holistic manner for his clients to achieve their best lives.
My father always had this phrase, the wind is rising, the river flows. So as a challenge arises, you have to kind of feel the flow, that things will work out, but you have to remain calm. He was very invested in the humanity of the people in front of him.
When he passed, we changed our name to honor Judge Moran and also to recognize we were beyond just defending, but we were really about advocating for youth. So we became the James B. Moran Center for Youth Advocacy.
I think he'd be so proud of where the organization is today, to know that we're continuing to grow and identify areas that need support for the most vulnerable young people in our community.
The board and each executive director really just continue to build all the different ways that we can not only serve youth and families, but also change our community to be a more equitable, a more just community.
When I think back on the Moran Center's 40 years, I think about the 10,000 children and families that we have served. And each and every client that we have represented has informed our work. The vision for our future of building a more restorative community, a more just and equitable community, is informed by our experiences with our clients.
We're really a village. It is the truth. I see us going on for another 40 years.